If you open Tola Bankole's Instagram page right now, here's what you would find. A woman in a white linen dress standing on a balcony in Banana Island, holding a glass of freshly squeezed zobo like she owns the building. A flat lay of an untouched acabo beside a MacBook Pro with the caption, "Monday mornings and manifestation, the grind is sacred laws." A video of her boyfriend, tall, light-skinned, wearing a linen shirt, opening a car door for her outside a restaurant in Victoria Island, while Afrobeat plays softly in the background. A reel of her unpacking Zaira bags on a California king bed while mounting the words to a Burna Boy song. A story highlight titled "My Skin Routine" that is 47 slides long and 214,000 followers, a blue verified take, and absolutely none of it is real. Well, the zobo was real. The rest of it, let's start from the beginning. Tola Bankole was born in Mushin, Lagos, not the Mushin that people romanticize when they want to sound humble in interviews, the actual Mushin, where the generator runs from 6 to 10 p.m. if light does not come. And if light comes, everybody shouts "NEPA" like they just witnessed a miracle, which honestly they have. Where our mother sold fried akara and pap at the front of the compound every morning from 5 a.m. and Tola's first job in life was to sit beside kerosene stove and shout "Oh yeah, come and buy" at people who were already buying. Where her father drove a commercial bus, Danfo, for 15 years, and the smell of diesel and ladder and the particular Lagos hair that enters when you crack a bus window at 3rd Mainland Bridge was the smell of her childhood. Tola was not born into luxury, she was born into hustle. And in Lagos, hustle is its kind of inheritance. She was sharp, quick, funny in that specifically Lagos way, where your insult sounds like a compliment until 30 seconds later, when the person realizes what just happened. She got into Unilag to study mass communication, which her father celebrated by killing a chicken, and her mother celebrated by immediately telling all the neighbors, and all the neighbors celebrated by coming to eat the chicken without being invited, which is also very Lagos. At university, Tola discovered 2 things. 1, she had a face that cameras loved. 2, she had opinions about everything: food, fashion, relationship, the price of fuel, why Nigerian men cannot handle a woman who earns more than them, why the jollof at faculty event was always summer burnt even though it was made in bulk. She started a blog in her 3rd year. Nobody read it. And then she started an Instagram page. Also, nobody. Then, she posted a video of herself eating suya from a newspaper wrap at 9th Market with no makeup, hair in 2 puffs, talking about how suya was actually the love language of Lagos and how the man who sells it on Allen Avenue had better relationship energy than most Nigerian men she had dated. That video got 40,000 views in 3 days, and Tola Bankole, born in Mushin, daughter of a Danfo driver and an akara seller, became slowly and then at once Tola Vibe. Here is the thing about building a lifestyle brand. When you do not actually have the lifestyle, it requires engineering, very specific, very exhausting, very expensive engineering. Let Tola explain it to you, or rather, let us explain it for her, because Tola herself would never admit any of this publicly. First, the apartment. Tola lived in a 1-bedroom flat in Yaba. Not a bad flat, decent, relatively clean. The landlord was a retired civil servant named Alhaji Rafiu, who knocked on her door every December 31st to wish her Happy New Year, and every January 2nd to remind her that rent was due. The flat had one window that faced the neighbor's fence and a bathroom where the tiles had seen better decades. This was where Tola actually lived, but her Instagram followers believe she lived in a 2-bedroom serviced apartment in Lekki, Phase 1, complete with marbled countertops, floor-to-ceiling curtains, a kitchen island, and a view of the lagoon. Her friend Cynthia. Cynthia worked as an estate agent and had keys to show apartments all over Lekki, empty units that owners paid to keep furnished and staged while looking for buyers or long-term tenants. Every week, Tola and Cynthia would drive to whichever show apartment was available, spend 3 hours taking enough content to last a month, and then leave. Tola would post 1 photo per week, carefully timed, carefully fitted, and that 214,000 followers believed she was living her best life in a Lekki apartment. She was not. She was living in Yaba, eating eba and egusi at 9 a.m., watching Nigeria Twitter explode about something or the other, and scheduling her Lekki content for 7 a.m. the next morning. The outfit, every fashion brand that sent Tola gifted pieces, believed she styled them for a full day of Lagos City life: brunch, meetings, content shots, and dinner. What actually happened was that Tola wore the outfit for exactly 45 minutes, took 400 photos, chose 12, edited them for 2 hours, posted 3, and then changed back into her house clothes, which were an oversized Unilag aluminum shirt and the same pair of shorts she has owned since 2019. The shorts had a small tear near the left pocket. She called them her thinking shorts. She wore them approximately 5 times a week. The food. Tola's Instagram was full of beautifully plated meals at upscale Lagos restaurants. Plates that cost between 15,000 and 30,000 naira per person. The reality was that she could afford to actually eat at this restaurant approximately once a week. The other 3 weeks, she went, ordered one item, usually the cheapest thing that photographed well, took pictures of everything on the neighboring table that looked expensive. The neighboring table never knew this was happening, paid for that one item and left. Then she would go home, buy shawarma from the place down her street that charged 1,800 naira, eat over her kitchen sink so she did not have to wash the plates, and edit the restaurant photos. The restaurant photos always performed 40% better than her other content. Because people love to see Lagos people eating expensively, especially when neither parties could actually afford it. The boyfriend, and then there was Dare Adeyemi, finance bro, worked at a bank on Lagos Island, drove a 2019 Toyota Corolla that he spoke about with all the reverence most people reserve for German engineering. Dare was not a bad person. He was just someone who liked the idea of dating an influencer more than he liked the actual work of dating a real woman. He liked that Tola looked good in photos. He liked that people commented relationship goals under pictures of them. He liked that his friends thought he was doing well because his girlfriend had a blue tick. What he did not like was that Tola worked until 1 a.m. most nights, or that she sometimes cancelled plans to edit content, or that she spent most times thinking about her engagement rate than she spent thinking about him. And what Tola did not like was that Dare had started making comments like, "You are always on your phone, and I don't understand why you are always performing for strangers." And the one thing that stung the most, "Tola, what is your life actually like? Because I feel like I'm dating your Instagram page, not you." She had laughed that one off. She should have listened to it. The collapse of Tola Bankole's carefully constructed Instagram life did not happen slowly. It happened in exactly 48 hours, and it started on a Tuesday, which Tola had always considered her least favorite day of the week. She was right to be suspicious of Tuesday. Exactly 10:47 a.m. Tola was in the middle of filming a morning routine reel in Cynthia's borrowed show apartment in Lekki when her phone buzzed. She assumed it was a brand DM. It was not. It was a notification from Instagram. Dare Adeyemi has tagged you in a post. She almost ignored it. She was mid-shot, holding a green smoothie she had no intention of drinking, wearing a matching laundry wear she had borrowed from a PRO package. Light coming through the window at the exact right angle, but something made her look. She looked. The post read, "Sometimes you outgrow situation. Wishing Tola vibe all the best. Genuinely, but some people are more in love with their brand than they are with real life. I need real peace." Tola stared at the screen. The green smoothie she was holding began to tint. Cynthia, who was operating the camera, watched the smoothie tint and started to say, "Tola." The smoothie went sideways. all over the borrowed laundry wear, all over the marbled look kitchen island of the show apartment. Tola did not move. She was reading the comments under Dari's post. There were already 847 of them because Dari, who had 12,000 followers himself from his finance Twitter days, had posted this at 10:45 a.m. on a Tuesday, which is the peak Lagos social media engagement time when everyone is on their phone pretending to work. The comment says things like, "This is giving she's an influencer energy. I always thought her apartment looked too perfect. Where does she actually live? Relationship goals really were just content goals. Someone go and check if the apartment is real." And then the comment that started everything. "Wait, I'm a real estate agent and I recognize that kitchen. That is the show apartment in Lekki phase 1. I showed it to a client last month. Is she renting apartment to take pictures?" The comment had 2,300 likes in 4 minutes. Tola finally put the smoothie down. Cynthia was very careful, not making eye contact. "Cynthia, yes, we need to leave this apartment." "Yes, we do," she replied. Right now, yes." At 1:15 p.m., they left the show apartment. On their way out, Tola accidentally walked into the estate agent who was bringing a genuine client to view the apartment. The estate agent looked at Tola. Tola looked at the estate agent. The client looked at both of them. Cynthia was already in the car. "Are you at Tola Vibes?" the client asked. No, she said. She got into the car. She was sweating through her borrowed laundry wear. Her phone had not stopped vibrating since 10:47 a.m. She had had 47 new followers requests, which would normally be exciting, and 312 new comments on her most recent post, which was a photo of her in the show apartment kitchen from 2 weeks ago. And the comments were no longer saying "gorgeous babe" and lifestyle goals. They were saying things like, "Which show apartment is this though? I feel deceived. The grey smoothie era is over." And one very long comment from an account called as Naija Truth Teller that had broken down with an apparent photographic evidence that 3 of Tola's most popular home photos were taken in different show apartments across Lekki. At Naija Truth Teller had 17,000 followers before Tuesday. By Thursday, they would have 89,000. At 3:30 p.m., Tola manager called her. Her manager was a woman named Sade, who operated out of an office in Ikeja and managed 4 influencers and 1 musician who was perpetually dropping his EP next month. "Sade, I've seen it." "Sade, what do I do?" "Say nothing. Post nothing. I'm calling you back in 20 minutes. Sade called back in 12. "Okay, here is the situation. The show apartment thing is trending on Twitter. Someone has made a thread. The thread had been retweeted by 3 comedy accounts. One of the comedy accounts has 400,000 followers. Tola's stomach dropped. The brand that was going to send you on that Accra trip next month. Yes, they've gone quiet." "Define quiet?" Tola asked. "I sent 3 messages, no reply. Their PRO girl, who used to reply in 5 minutes, has read my message and said nothing." The silence on the phone was very loud. "Sade, what do I do?" Sade exhaled slowly. "Tola, I'm going to be honest with you because that is my job." "Okay," Tola said. "This is very bad." "I know it's bad, Sade. No, I mean it's Instagram career in critical mood condition bad. The thing about Lagos social media is that people love to build you up, and they love." Tola completed. "They love to tear you down even more. I know." "Yes," Sade said. Another silence. "But," Sade said. "But what?" "There is one thing that can save this." Tola sat up. "What?" "The truth." Tola laughed. It was not a happy laugh. "The truth, Sade? My entire brand is built on. I know what your brand is built on, and so does everyone else now. So the question is not whether the truth comes out. The truth is already out. The question is whether you tell your version of it, or whether at Naija Truth Teller continues to tell it for you." Tola looked out of Cynthia's car window. They were stuck in traffic on the bridge, which was very on brand for Lagos. Even your crisis came with traffic. At exactly 6 p.m., Tola was back in her real apartment in Yaba, the one with the window that faced the fence. She sat on her atra bed, which had a normal mattress, not a California king, and opened Instagram. The damage report: followers down from 214,000 to 189,000. She had lost 16,000 followers in 8 hours. The show apartment thread had been screenshotted and shared on WhatsApp and now circulating in group chats she would never see. A gossip blog had posted, exposed, "Is Tola vibe living a lie? Lagos influencer Lekki apartment is actually a show unit." The blog post had 4,000 comments. 3 of our brand partnership had sent checking in on the situation emails, which in PR language means "we are considering dropping you." Dare had not called. She had not called Dare either. Her mother, however, had called 4 times and sent a voice note. The voice note said, "Tola, I'm hearing things. What is this show apartment matter? Your auntie Ngozi called me. She said she saw it on Facebook. Facebook, Tola, call me and don't be doing nonsense. This life you are posting, is it real? Because I raised you in Mushin and you know that Mushin people don't behave anyhow. Call me." Tola listened to the voice note 3 times. Then she called her mother. Her mother answered on the first ring. "Mama, Tola, what is this nonsense I'm hearing?" "Mama, I can explain." "Explain what? That you are renting people's house to take pictures? That this your boyfriend, this Dare, has called you out on the internet? Tola, is this what I sent to Unilag for?" "Mama, Unilag has nothing to do with it. I'm asking if you are okay." The shift in her mother's voice from sharp to soft in 3 words was so sudden that Tola did not have time to prepare for it. She started crying. Not a pretty kind of cry that photographs well. The ugly kind, the Mushin kind. The kind that comes from 3 years of holding something up that was always too heavy. "Mama, I'm tired," she said. Her mother was quiet for a moment. Then, "Oh yeah, come home this weekend. I will make eba and we'll talk." And something about that simplicity of that eba and talking made Tola cry even harder. At 9:47 p.m., Tola was in her thinking shorts, the Unilag shirt, the 2019 shorts. The tear were the most honest things she owned. She opened the notes app. She typed 1 sentence. "What if I just told the truth?" She stared at it for a long time. Then she opened Instagram. She pressed record. No ring lights, no filter, no borrowed apartment, no green smoothie. Just Tola Bankole in a real Yaba flat with the window that faced the fence. In her thinking shot, with her face unprepared for anyone's consumption, she took a breath and started talking. "Okay, hi," she laughed nervously. "This is my real apartment in Yaba. That is a fence outside my window. My landlord's name is Alhaji Rafiu, and he will be here on January 2nd for rent. As God is my witness, every single year without fail." She held up the window so people could see the fence clearly. "I have something to say, and I'm going to say it without a script because, honestly, I don't have the energy to write a script tonight." She exhaled. "I have been running a lifestyle brand for 3 years, and some of it has been real. The food opinions, real. The relationship takes, real. The suya video that started everything, very real. I genuinely believe suya is a love language, and I will die on that hill." She paused. "But some of it, a lot of it, was not real. The apartment is a show unit. My friend Cynthia is an estate agent, and God blessed Cynthia. She has been letting me borrow apartment for content for 2 years. Cynthia, if you are watching this, I love you, and I'm sorry I've dragged you into my chaos." She looked directly at the camera. "The restaurant I go, I order one thing. I photograph other people's food when they are not looking. Before you judge me, I always tip well. That is my only defense." She took another breath. "The relationship, Dare was not wrong. I was more focused on how we looked than on how we actually were. That is something I have to sit with, and I'm sitting with it." She was quiet for a moment. "I grew up in Mushin. My mother sells akara. My father drove Dranfo for 15 years. I am not ashamed of any of that. I am proud of all of it. But somewhere along the way, I started to believe that the life I grew up in was not the life people wanted to see. So I built them a different one." She looked down for a second. "Lagos is interesting. This city will celebrate you for what you appear to be and punish you for what you actually are. And I participated in that. I fed that machine. I built a whole brand on feeding that machine." She looked back at the camera. "So, here I am, Giaba flat, taking shots, fence view, no smoothie, no filter, no borrowed kitchen. She smiled. The slightly cracked, unposed smile that nobody had seen on her Instagram in 3 years. This is Tola, the Ashra one. He paused one final time. I don't know if you will stay. I don't know if the Browns will stay. I don't know if any of this matters anymore. But I know that I'm tired of performing a life I'm not living. Good night. They ended the recording. It was 6 minutes and 42 seconds long. She almost did not post it. She almost deleted it twice. Then she thought of her mother's voice saying, "Oh yeah, come home this weekend." Then she posted it. She put her phone face down on the bed, pulled her blanket over her head like she was 8 years old in motion again, and waited for the internet to destroy her. The video got 1 million views in 18 hours, not because people came to mock her, because people came to see something they had not seen from an influencer in a very long time, a real person. The comments were different from anything her account had ever seen. This is the most Lagos thing I've watched. She literally photographed strangers' food. I'm crying. The fence. She showed us the fence. Sis said, "Here is my reality. I work in a show apartment building in Lekki, and I am now realizing that at least 3 influencers have been using our unit. I will not be naming anyone, but I see you all." The way she said thinking short has broken me. We all have taken shots. This is our every woman. I've been lying on Instagram for 2 years, watching this at 2 a.m. in my real apartment in Surulere, eating cabin biscuits. She just called me out. Her mother said, "Eba, I'm talking." That is the most Nigerian solution to a crisis, and some are the most correct one. Tola, I don't know you, but I respect you. It takes something to say I was wrong without explaining it to death. You said it clean. Respect. And then from one account, Tola did not expect to see in her comment, Dare Adeyemi. Dare wrote, "I meant what I said in my post. But I also want to say, this took courage. I know it did. You know it did. Take care of yourself, Tola." She read that comment 4 times. Then she put her phone down. She did not reply. Some things did not need a reply. Lagos is a complicated place to have a public fall from grace. On one hand, Lagos people love a scandal more than they love their generator running. On the other hand, Lagos people deeply respect someone who can take a hit and get back up. It is a city that has been taking hits and getting back up since before anyone can remember. So, what happened after that video? The followers. Tola lost 22,000 followers in 48 hours after the scandal broke. She gained 41,000 in the week after The Honest. The math was unusual, but Lagos math often is. The brands. 2 of the brands that has gone quiet after the scandal quietly sent follow-up emails. One of them, a Nigerian skincare brand called Glow Niger, sent a message that read, "Saw your video. We think what you did was brave. We are still interested in working with you, but specifically because of who you were in that video, not the show apartment fashion, the real one. Let's talk." Tola stared at that email for 10 minutes. Then she forwarded it to Shade. Shade replied in 40 seconds, "I told you the truth." The Accra trip brand, they never replied. Sometimes, some things in Lagos just close and do not open again. You move on. Cynthia, the estate agent friend, received 4 DMs from other influencers asking if she had any show apartments available. Cynthia, who had watched the entire collapse and felt guilty about her role in the architect of the lie, replied to none of them. She called Tola instead. "I think I'm done being your interior decorator," she said. Tola laughed. "I think we are both done," she agreed. Alhaji Rafiu, the landlord, knocked on Tola's door 3 days after the video. Not for rent. He had seen the video. His granddaughter had shown it to him. "This girl," he said, pointing at Tola in a way that would have been accusatory but was actually impressed. "You confessed publicly. That takes strong head." He handed her a small container with father rice from his wife. "She said you looked thin in the video," he said, "and that the fence outside your window makes the flat look worse than it is." Then he left. Tola stood in her doorway holding father rice. Lagos has many ways of saying you are going to be okay. This was one of the best ones. That weekend, Tola went on to Mushin. Her mother's compound was everything her Instagram was not. The compound gate had a dent from when a downfall revised into it in 2011, and her father had always said he would fix it and never did. The compound walls were painted a yellow that has faded into something that was not technically beige. 3 families lived in the compound. Everyone knows everyone's business. This was a feature, not a bug. Her mother was at the front beside the kerosene stove, not selling akara. The morning rush was over, but sitting in a plastic chair, peeling ugu leaves with the focused efficiency of someone who has been doing it for 40 years. She looked up when Tola came through the gates. She did not say anything dramatic. She just said, "You are here. Go and wash your hand. Food is almost ready." This was her mother's language, not therapy, not the lecture. Just wash your hand. Food is ready. You are home. You are okay. They ate eba and egusi soup at the small table in the kitchen. Tola's father came in from the garage. He was not driving Danfo anymore. He repaired motorcycles now and sat down without being asked and started eating. He also did not say anything dramatic. He said, "I saw that video. You talked well." That was it. That was the whole review. You talked well. From a man who had driven a Danfo through Lagos traffic for 15 years and understood better than most that life was about getting from one point to the other, and that the route you took was less important than whether you arrived honestly. After dinner, Tola sat with her mother on the veranda. The compound generator was on. The neighbor's television was audible through the wall. A child was crying somewhere and then stopped. The specific sounds of a Lagos night that no one was curating. "Mama," Tola said, "I've been thinking about what I actually want, from the content, from the brand, from all of it." Her mother peeled an orange with the same efficiency she had peeled the ugu. "And I think I want to tell a story. Lagos story, real ones, not the borrowed apartment ones," she posted. People responded to the honest video more than anything I've posted in 3 years. Her mother said nothing for a moment. "You know what your problem was?" she said finally. "What?" "You forgot that your life, our life, this life," she gestured at the compound, the faded yellow wall, the dented gate. "This life is interesting." She handed Tola a segment of orange. "You thought people needed to see Banana Island to respect you, but you yourself came from here, and you are interesting. So this place is also interesting." She went back to her orange. "That is all. Eat." Tola ate the orange, and somewhere between the ugu leaves and the egusi soup and the dented gate and her father saying, "You talk to her," and her mother saying, "This life is interesting," Tola Bankole understood something. She had spent 3 years and 214,000 followers running away from. The real story was always more interesting than the performed one. She just had not believed anyone would care. The new content started the Monday after she came back from Mushin. No borrowed apartments, no borrowed laundry wear, no carefully timed smoothie. She pointed her phone at the window that faced the fence and said, "Good morning from Yaba. The fence is still here, so am I." It got 80,000 views. She filmed herself buying vegetables at the market down her street, the real one, with the noise, the crowding, and the price hugging, and talked for 6 minutes about how the woman who sold tomatoes had been in the same spot for 12 years and knew every regular customer preference by heart. This woman, Tola said in the video, knows more about her customer loyalty than any brand manager I've ever met. She has never once run a targeted ad. The video got 200,000 views. The tomato seller, Mama Tomatoes, as the comment immediately named her, became a minor Lagos internet celebrity for 4 days. Mama Tomatoes did not know this was happening. Mama Tomatoes did not have Instagram. Mama Tomatoes was busy selling tomatoes. Tola filmed herself actually eating at the restaurant where she used to photograph strangers' food. She ordered one meal. She talked about the meal honestly, what she liked, what was overpriced, what she would order again. No flat lay, no ring light, just Tola eating chicken and jollof rice and giving a genuine opinion with rice in her teeth. 3 restaurants called her the next week, asking if she could review them. She went, she ate, and told the truth. 2 she loved, one she described as the love that had clearly had a rough day and wanted everyone else to have a rough day too. That restaurant chef saw the review and left a comment. "Fair, we know, we are working on it." Tola replied, "I will come back when you do." She went back. The jollof was better. She said so. Let it be said clearly, not everything came back. Some things stayed gone. Diary stayed gone. Tola thought about him sometimes, not with the old longing, but with this specific kind of clarity that comes after a relationship that was not right reviews himself. She understood now that what they had built together was merely aesthetic, and she has been as responsible for that as he had. She had not been dating Dari, she had been featuring him. There was a difference. They would not make this mistake again. The Accra brand stayed gone. She tried not to be bitter about it. She was a little bitter about it. This is also real life. The 22,000 followers who left after the scandal did not come back. The 41,000 who came after the honest video were different. They commented differently, they engaged differently, they sent DMs that statements like, I needed to see this, and this made me feel less alone. Tola, I also have thinking shots, and I've never felt more seen. When you build something real, the people who come to it are different from the people who came to the performance. This is not a small thing. 6 months after the collapse of our Tola vibe, as the world had known it, 3 things happened. First, a media company offered Tola a real column in a real publication about life in Lagos, real Lagos, not a curated Lagos, from the perspective of a woman who has tried to escape her reality and came back to find it was the most interesting thing about her. She accepted. The column was called Thinking Shots. Second, Glow Niger, the Nigeria skincare brand that had emailed her after the honest review, launched a campaign with Tola. The campaign was called Your Actual Face. It features influencers and regular people photographed without filters, in their real spaces, in their real clothes, talking about their real skin routine, which for most people was significantly less than 47 story slide. Tola filmed her segment in a Yaba flat. The window facing the fence was visible in every shot, kept it in. The third, Tola's mother watched the Glow Nigeria campaign video 3 times. Then she called Tola. They used your flat? That one with the fence? Yes, mama. And they paid you? Yes, mama. Her mother was quiet for exactly 2 seconds. Then, so they paid you to be yourself? Yes. Another pause. We should have charged for this years ago. Tola burst out laughing. Her mother, completely serious, did not. I mean it, her mother said. All these years of free Tola should have been charging. 1 year after the collapse, Tola Bankole, born in Mushin, Lagos, daughter of a Danfo driver and an Akara seller, graduate of Unilag Mass Communication, owner of 1 pair of Thinking Shots and a Yaba flat with a fence view, sat on her actual bed in her actual apartment and opened Instagram. Her follower count was 289,000, higher than it has ever been during the performance years. The blue verified tick was still there, but it meant something different now. Now it said, this is who this person actually is. This is her actual fence, her actual Thinking Shot, her actual market, her actual mother's eba, her actual laugh with rice in her teeth. She posted a photo, no filter, no borrowed apartment, no smoothie, just Tola in a Yaba flat on a Sunday afternoon with the window open showing the fence, holding a wrap of suya from the man on Allen Avenue. Caption: 3 years ago, I built a whole life for strangers to watch. 1 year ago, it fell apart in 48 hours. Turned out the life I was running from was the interesting one the whole time. Suya is still a love language. Mushin is still home. The fence is still there, and I'm here. Finally, actually verified. She posted it. Then she put her phone down. She did not check the notifications. She ate her suya. It was very good suya. It was perhaps the best suya she had ever eaten. Not because the suya had changed, but because she was finally actually tasting it instead of photographing it. This too is a lesson worth learning. Moral lesson: the performance of a life costs more than the life itself. Tola spent 3 years spending money she did not have, borrowing space she could not afford, building a version of herself that required constant maintenance and produced constant anxiety, all in pursuit of being seen and as someone worth watching. And when it all collapsed, what saved her was not a better strategy, it was not a better fitter, it was not a more convincing show apartment. It was 6 minutes and 42 seconds of simply being who she actually was. In Lagos, in life, we are all surrounded by pressure to present the best version, the highest version, the most impressive version of ourselves for an audience that is often doing exactly the same thing for their own audience. We are all in some way running show apartments. The question is not whether the performance is convincing. The question is whether at the end of the day, in your Thinking Shot, in your actual flat, in front of your actual fence, you know who you are, because that person, the one in the Thinking Shot, is always more interesting than the one in the borrowed linen. Always. And the followers who come for the real thing will always be worth more than the follower who came for the show. Not just on Instagram, in life. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification button for more interesting story from Quiet Blue.